for the first time on the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel, we are presenting a new series to add to our lineup. This is the Rush Trucks League, and this is the third round of the season, to the aptly titled Fireball Talks NASCAR 110 at Iowa Speedway. And we are here for the first time in quite a while at Iowa, and for the first time with the NASCAR Truck Series trucks. And right now we are following the driver of the number 39. And for those who are not keeping up with the series so far, this is Michael Overstreet. He's won the first two races of the season at Daytona and Auto Club back-to-back. And he's looking to go to a three-peat on the season so far, dominating the points charts at the moment. As we currently have more than 10 drivers, we have absolutely a good field of 14 so far, and that is great to see. Before we get on with the remainder of our programming, here is the current points standings and how they are tabulated at the beginning of this season. You can see Michael Overstreet in that 39 machine has been dominating the season so far with 2 wins on this season so far. You can see that the drivers behind him are pretty far back, in spite of the fact that they have made it through both starts. It is going to be, I believe, looking at the charts, Mike Slagter in second position. He is 42 points back on the leader. Wayne Anderson is 77 points back, and the list goes on from there. Andrew Shorter, coming into this race, is our highest gainer. He has gained 10 positions since the last race, and it is going to be driver on 11 places. That is Dave Poitsama going down to 15th position. He was in 4th position following Daytona, but falling back after Auto Club, the biggest loser when it comes to the points at the moment. We're going to see how all of these points headlines shape up throughout the remainder of this race as it influences the start of the season. And we are watching as Overstreet is now 4th on the charts. He is gaining time. When we started this broadcast just a few minutes ago, he was in 9th on the charts, and he was several tenths back, but now he is up there fighting once again, and it seems he has a good grip on this Toyota Tundra for the remainder of the season. Perhaps we will see, because right now it seems to be getting quicker and quicker each time by. Our leader at the moment on the charts is Wayne Anderson, though, and that is Overstreet's title rival in that number 8 machine, as Overstreet's going to come up to Wayne Anderson. Anderson, though, having new tires, and Overstreet is going to spin, but it is only practice, and the tense perhaps relations of these drivers have not begun anytime soon. And we're still watching as the 8 machine right now is rolling up the hill at Iowa Speedway, and Caleb Morrissey, who is second on the charts in that number 2 machine, is in the pits. With the exception of 2 drivers, including our race control manager in the 000 there at the bottom of your ticker, and Sean Derriman, everyone is on the track right now, and we're going to be seeing a lot of drivers. You can see that the 27 machine of Terry Mullum a little bit scuffed up right now. Shane Wielden is also on the racetrack. Heath Hanlon is as well, but he's on pit road. There are many drivers right now taking more and more practice laps. We have 4 drivers within 0.04 of a second of the hottest lap time on the racetrack. Sean Derriman now out on the track in the PPG 16 machine. And you can see that is the 17 of Mike Slagter, who is the biggest gainer in points so far, getting back following a momentum-filled race at Auto Club Speedway, trying to go for more at Iowa, but that is not a promising look there for the driver in the number 17, my apologies, Monster Energy machine. Tanner Speakman is there in the 73 right by Overstreet on the inside line, and it looks like the outside might prevail there for the 39 machine. And to introduce this series as well, I am not the only person commentating tonight. We are going to introduce Alexander Balderas to the field of new viewers who have stopped by for this series, knowing that it does have its audience as well. And for the returning viewers, you may know him well. It is Throttle, and he is here to commentate the race with myself. It's going to be a fun one to watch. What do you think?
Well, certainly is going to be a fun one to watch. I think for the first time here at Iowa Speedway with the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, with NASCAR Camping World Trucks. Overstreet over Anderson leads Morrison and Derriman. Your fast 4 in practice, 7:45 minutes remaining. Everybody is out on track trying to get a grip for how the track feels with the trucks. I couldn't tell you if it's a low, high, or middle kind of lane track. I don't own Iowa, so I have no experience with it, but it certainly is going to be a good one to watch.
You were right about that. Look at this. You could see that the number 97 of Patrick Gentner there. We're going to get the telemetry on him right now as he's taking a different line from the driver in front of him, and that is Sean Derriman now 4th on the charts, and you would see entering turn 3, it is a very low line there for Gentner trying to get it on the exit. A little bit of a twitch there from the driver of the 15 and Sean Derriman there. So it looks like Gentner knows what he's doing here. 6th on the charts is a very close margin between he and Derriman, only separated by just about a 1/10 of a second, while Derriman is separated by 2/1000 of a second when it comes to the driver just in front of him on the charts. That is Caleb Morrissey in the number 2 machine. You can see right now battling through the field. It looks like it is some green flag conditions for the driver of the 97. How about we go on board with the driver of the 97 to see how he sees the battle that is just in front of him. Will he try to make a move on the drivers, including Derriman and the number 27? Looks like he won't. Let's go on board with Sean Derriman to see what he sees. It looks like he's side by side right now.
You can see they're running the middle line of the track that is high and then cuts back away from the low side of the track. He's going to arc it up. He's going to stay in the middle. So he stays to the low side of the track, supported a bottom lane track, but I wonder if we can set up a run on the outside, is what we're seeing. The front truck just behind us trying to set up a pass. We have racing in practice. So judging off of this, I think it's going to be a very, very good race to watch.
Looks like right there, Derriman's going to get in the wall in the 27 of Terry Mullum. Going to get the better of him so far in that beautiful chrome bullet machine. It looks like right now, fighting for some more time. 11th on the charts right now, so not the quickest driver so far in practice, but there are still 5 minutes and 39 seconds remaining for the driver of the painting and drywall team machine to get it done. And you can see the engine is blowing up there. And Michael Overstreet just ahead of Wayne Anderson's time by 0.08 of a second. The championship rivals very close to one another when it comes to speed and when it comes to talent behind the wheel. Tanner Speakman right now in the RaceEPI.com machine. Very nice scheme there. Dark blues, light blues, and a black base there to boot. He is going on the chart right now. He is 5th on that chart, and he's trying to look for more. As you can see, the battle for first is separated by 0.02 of a second on the racetrack. It's actually 19,000 according to the exact timing and scoring. These guys have a lot to work on when it comes to seeing if they can get an advantage from one driver to another. Right now, they seem to be very close to one another in timing and scoring, but it is only practice. So far, we've got a lot to go.
Yeah, you're right. Practice never speaks for the total race or qualifying results. 4:35 just on the ticker. Overstreet over Anderson, Morrissey, and Derriman just leading the top 4. Speakman in 5th in the 73 machine. As practice starts to come to a close, all the drivers will have to go out and see if they can run a qualifying-esque run. And if they can get it done, then they know and have experience for qualifying, which is the 5-minute 2-lap shootout to try and see who can get pole. The 73 goes for a quick spin in the back, got loose. With 4 minutes 05 on the clock. We're going to get ready to go into qualifying here shortly. But as we go down the back straighter with the 2 and the 39, they're gonna try and run. I think Iowa's it's an interesting track. It's not like many of the other tracks where it's very big and has a lot of banking. It's not like every intermediate. It's not quite like New Hampshire either. So it's a good mix of both. So hopefully we can see good multi-lane racing here tonight, and expect a good racing product out on the track.
Certainly a lot of drivers showing speed so far, and an interesting thing to note, got the word from the driver of that number 4 machine, Sean Derriman, on pit road right now, telling me that there are going to be about 60 laps of fuel on a green flag run, so we will potentially see someone try to pull off a one-stopper. It is a 125 lap main event, 110 miles. So the driver of the 15 getting word that we will see some pit strategy if it goes all the way, but it's going to be a risk to see someone can pull off a slow one-stopper or go for an aggressive two-stopper in the case of no caution. Michael Overstreet right there, fastest on the charts, getting into the wall there with 3 minutes remaining on practice, now just under 3 minutes. The remainder of the field is getting into the swing of things here. We've got drivers who have not focused on so far, including James Cooper getting onto the racetrack. Keith Hanlon is on it as well. Sun Drop Machine there. Tanner Speakman, we saw before, now on pit road. It looks like that is going to be the 48 of Andrew Cooper, or rather Andrew Schroeder, my apologies. James Cooper, we focused on beforehand. Andrew Schroeder in the number 48 machine as the Yankees paint scheme there. Personally a Mets fan, a New Yorker myself, but it is interesting to see some New York representation at Iowa Speedway. Let's go back to the drivers who are on track. How about we find a battle You can see some drivers next to one another. We can see Caleb Morrissey, though, coming onto the racetrack right now. Shane Wheeldon appears to have just loaded into the session.
And as we continue to round out the laps in practice, coming to an end, we are going to go in 2 minutes on the clock, head to the 2-lap and 5-minute qualifying session, where each driver gets 2 laps or 5 minutes, whatever takes them longer, to set 2 clean qualifying laps around Iowa. You can get 0 X's. If you get an X, even a 0 X for contact on the wall, your lap is invalidated. So I think this is a lap 2 kind of qualifying track, although I'm not quite sure. So it's kind of coming out random, but we're just going to have to see when we get to qualifying.
Morrissey going to go for a spin there. And interesting to note, iRacing's qualifying leniency depends, and in this session, the leniency is very tolerant. As far as I'm aware, checking the setup before for this session, and incidents, they're going to be important. There is an incident limit in this league. It is going to be 25x as far as I am aware coming into this event. Now qualifying going to start very soon, and it is a fixed setup. So every single one of these drivers running with the same material, all trying to get to grips with the same truck. Of course, 3 different manufacturers, but they drive just about the same. iRacing, very, very proficient when it comes to keeping these cars equal overall. And you can see that the number 97 machine of Patrick Gentner back on the track. He is going for some more right now when it comes to some pace. He is very close to the leading battle when it comes to timing. He is 12 hundredths off the time that Michael Overstreet has set right now. So he is certainly trying to get to grips with the truck to get a little more time and perhaps contend for the lead. 25 seconds to go. This might be the last legitimate chance at a run. How about we go on board and watch the input of the driver of the number 97.
15 seconds left on the clock as he scrapes against the wall. So clearly the truck's being a mix of tight and loose, tight center, loose exit. Not exactly what you want. You want to have a good, stable car all the way around, and a good salute. Also quite bumpy. He's wearing a Maverick helmet.
Qualifying is entering its start. Practice is over, and we will be heading to the 5-minute shootout where every single one of these drivers gets to head out onto the racetrack and get their 2 fastest laps in. But we do know that tire warming is going to be a major factor with these NASCAR Truck Series machines, so it might take some time for these guys to get to grips and perhaps choose to make some strategy calls in qualifying to try and get those tires warmed up. iRacing, not a fan of cheesing the tires, so we might not see that. We will see some drivers trying to weave it about. They have 2 laps. They might throw away their first, sort of, to try to get an all-out second lap. We will see. Wayne Anderson is on the racetrack. Sean Derriman is as well. Andrew Schroeder is through. And it looks like Tanner Speakman is through to his first lap with Shane Wheeldon not far behind, but it looks like that's going to be a botched one for Wheeldon. Going to have to go for another hot lap as Tanner Speakman is going through. It looks like Andrew Schroeder might be the furthest out driver on the racetrack, or is he? Looks like he's just entering the backstretch, as it looks like it's going to be Speakman who just exits it and getting the honor to put it down on the top of the charts. First, it is going to be Speakman with a 24.028, and Slacker going to put down a 24.091. My apologies, it is both 24s, as we have a 28 by Shane Wheeldon there. Terry Mullum going to put it in 4th, Slacker 3rd, Tanner Speakman is in 2nd, while Wayne Anderson is going to head into 1st. John Derriman has an incident there, 28.957, that counted as a lap. Despite the incident, gonna have to reset that car. And Anderson so far top of the charts, then Speakman, then Slager, then Keith Hanlon in Undrop Machine, and Terry Mullum falling to 6th position there. And Shane Wheeldon is going to head into 4th position. Qualifying run over there. Andrew Schroeder's run is over. He can put it up to 7th there. Sean Derriman back on the racetrack, trying to get it all out on this final lap. Can he get quicker than a 25.310? We will see, because he's trying to go for it all out now. That car is taped up to the max. That's about as quick as it can get. The Speakman's not going to be anywhere near the time that Anderson set in that number 8 machine. Can Derriman do anything about it? Coming to the start and finish line, nothing's going to be done about it. That's going to put him in 2nd position, though, on the front row for now. What does Overstreet have to say about it? Looks like he's weaving and bobbing those tires back and forth. And I don't know about you, but that is pretty much explicitly showing what he wants to do with the car right now. Coming to his first lap right now, getting on to the power First lap has started for the driver in the number 39. That is Overstreet. Might be able to go for the pole with that tire move placed into motion. And there are a few drivers who have not gone on the racetrack right now, including Patrick Gentner, James Cooper, of course, a race control, Caleb Morrissey, rounding out those who have not qualified so far. That is 5 drivers. Darriman is in second. Will he stay in second? We will see. Looks like this is not going to overtake it as an 8th position lap. Is this one going to be quicker? We will see. Overstreet seems to be 3/10 up on the pace. Now looking at 4/10 up right now. This might be the lap for the pole position going through turns 3 and 4. Can he get it done? Looks like there is a chance coming to the line. And that is going to be it for Sean Darriman's chances on the front row, because Michael Overstreet's going to put it up on the board.
And that was a great qualifying effort by Anderson to have stolen the pole as Overstreet takes his first pole, I think. Or is this his third, because he's won both the 2 races?
Well, we can check the timing and scoring, or rather the point standings so far. And here are our point standings entering this race. Pole positions are not shown on it, but given the way that it is ran out, can assume that Michael Overstreet has not put it far behind the pole position so far in this series, as it looks like the 97 machine of Gentner trying to make something happen. 11th on the charts on that first lap is subject to improve this time by. That is expected, because by the second lap, tires get more and more warm, and that is the reason that we saw such a great lap there by Michael Overstreet, and Gentner is still not anywhere quick enough. It's going to put him in 8th, as Caleb Morrissey is in 3rd. He has one more lap to do it, and we're getting word that the 000 is William Kelly, a race control. And for the remainder of the races, that will not be the way it is displayed. And we apologize for the inconvenience, as it is a 13-car field of drivers. Morrissey going down to the apron, and looks like it's going to be no improvement there when it comes to position. Caleb Morrissey, 15 thousandths ahead of Sean Darriman. That is for 3rd. And that concludes our qualifying session, unless we see an entrance from James Cooper. We see Jerome Cooper is in 12th position. James Cooper, nowhere to be found on the racetrack. That ends qualifying for the Fireball Talks NASCAR 110 at Iowa.
Right you are, the seconds rounding out qualifying, getting ready to start our race. And as we get ready for the field to grid, we should show you the qualifying order.
Right about that, the starting grid going to be shown right now, and you can see that Sean Darriman is the furthest up in position, currently loaded in, but that is not the case anymore. We see our pole sitter, the number 39 machine of Michael Overstreet. He got a 28.3835, my apologies, a 23.835, leading Wayne Anderson by 5 1,000ths of a second there. A very impressive run by the driver of the number 39 machine. And Caleb Morrissey and Sean Darriman are on our second row, of 15,000th difference between both of them. Then we're going to go to Tanner Speakman and Keith Hanlon, separated by 4 thousandths of a second. And then Shane Wheeldon and Patrick Gentner, separated by just under 8 hundredths. Still in a very close margin there, as Mike Slachter and Terry Lamulum are 9th and 10th on the grid. Rounding out our top 10 so far is Andrew Schroeder and Jerome Cooper are the last drivers to qualify on time, while James Cooper qualifies on iRating and race control. William Kelly will not be racing with us tonight. He is scored as our 14th position driver and will not be eligible to race, given his situation as the off-track admin. That is our starting grid for tonight's event, and we're led by the number 39 machine with a cystic fibrosis foundation on his car.
Right you are, Overstreet to take the pole, 38 and 39 in the 8, the front row, as we wait for the pace truck to pull off, and there it goes. The pacing around, they will go on the apron, and they will exit to the top side of the track. As we wait to go down the back straightaway, the qualifying order was just said, but as we head down the back straightaway, we are yet to start the race. I think it's going to be a good one. What do you think, Floyd?
I think it's going to be a good one as well. A lot of good drivers here, and they're all going to make it work. We saw the qualifying times are ever so close, but it is a long race, not a sprint, quite the marathon for these drivers, and tire strategy is going to come into play. So for the drivers' sake, I think they're going to have to play it a little relaxed when it comes to the start of this event, as the iRacing pace truck is going to lead them home to turns 3 and 4's exit. Coming down to the front straightaway very, very soon. It looks like we're actually going to have one more lap of pacing. But we will see when we get to the action, which I believe will come within a lap or so. Overstreet still leading the way, of course, as we have not gotten the race started. And you will see a lot of different headers on these drivers. Trucks, Rush Trucks, Standard Outdoors, Camping World. So a diversity in every single aspect of the race car when it comes to manufacturer, title, number. And of course, when it comes to driver skill, a lot of these guys seems to be pretty equal. Who knows what we're going to see when it comes to this event, because these 13 drivers are ready to go at it with full aggression, and some of them might be saving some fuel even now. As we can see, the driver of the 7, Jerome Cooper, is laying back on the start so far, with the iRacing pace truck only going to give him so much time to prepare for the action tonight. And this is on the iRacing service. If you want to join this action, you have to use our referral code. It's the way that it helps us and it helps you. PR Hot Laps, PR-Hot Laps for 3 months. $5. But now it is time for the race to go green. It's the Fireball Talks NASCAR 110 at Iowa, and Michael Overstreet leads us to green. He won last race. He starts this race on first. What can he do? As he's got the 2 machine and Caleb Morrissey already on his side, and almost 3 wide there for the lead immediately. That Toyota Tundra holding on strong against 2 Chevrolet Silverados so far. This is the pack. It's more and more intense so far. You see 3 wide in the back of your screen, and the 39 machine is putting it to work so far. It's going to be Overstreet leading the first lap, and Anderson is in second. Morrissey in third. Stays the same as it was beforehand in the qualifying order. John Derriman's going to drop to 6th there, and I apologize, Throttle. What you got to say?
Well, no, you're fine. I was just going to say that the 39 leads the first lap as he comes into turn number 3. The 8 trying to make a move on the outside. Can't get it done. The 8 going to go to the back of the 39. The 2 there in tow as well. Looking across to start lap number 3. You see the 39 just on the inside, running the middle lane. So clearly the bottom isn't the lane you want to run. So clearly if you can get the top working and you can get a run, you could probably pass the person in front of you. But I think we're going to see good racing as the 2 goes for the move down the inside. The 8 up on the high side. Oh, and he scrapes the wall. The 8 into the wall. That's going to slow him down. The 2 were to the clear and entering turn number 1. And yes, it does. The 8 has to fall in line behind the 2. And now the 8 knows, can he get another run on the outside? Oh, almost touches the wall again in the same spot. But the 39 has a clear advantage and holds a lead over the rest of the field.
Wayne Anderson, despite that little scrape of the wall, his Chevrolet Silverado is still going against the Chevrolet-sponsored car of Caleb Morrissey. That truck is moving. And look at that machine still in second position. Car number 2, or rather the truck number 2. It is a truck series after all. Is still going hot and heavy on the driver of the 39. Looks like this is going to be the first pass for the lead this race if it sticks. Overstreet is on the high side. Will their momentum prevail? Coming to the line right now. Looks like Overstreet's going to get credited with the lap, but Morrissey has the inside line. And for the drivers who are going for the lead, this does burn up tires. It burns up fuel. Driver, the A machine, Wayne Anderson, might be holding it back, just getting the draft and maybe pedaling it off the throttle just a little bit in the hopes that he can make it last just about 5 laps longer in the case of a full green flag run. But we do not know how it's going to play out so far. Morrissey down to the inside on Overstreet. Overstreet needs that lap again. Now it looks like Overstreet's going to be almost past there, but he is still not clear. That Morrissey machine is not, and they're still side by side down the backstretch. 73 machine of Tanner Speakman is watching. How do we go on the nose camera to see the battle for the lead from this perspective?
I think this is going to be a great battle. The top 3 now starting to pull away, each of them helping each other on the backstretch. Down goes to the inside. There goes the 8. Yellow spoiler tries to make a move on the 39, who just lost the lead. But is it possible he's saving a bit of fuel to have a longer run in the race? The race being 125 laps and the field run being 60 laps. If you could pit in and save just enough gas on the first and last stretch, you would have to save about 2.5 laps of fuel each stint if you wanted to make it just to the line on the final lap. And the 39, clearly not happy with being in the back of the lead pack. He tries to goes in front of the 8. He's going to try and get his position back and try and go back to the lead. But if he's trying to save, that might be detrimental to his strategy.
You can see Wayne Anderson, this is his perspective, or rather his nose's perspective, and you can see that Michael Overstreet just made the pass on him. He was down to third, the lowest he's been this race. He's back up to second, trying to fight Caleb Morrissey for all he's got, but Morrissey right now is not giving in. The best lap in the session so far was delivered by, we're trying to get the timing and scoring charts to show us the driver of the 39 machine of Overstreet. The Overstreet currently does have the speed, but it might be backing off a little bit. His last lap was 1,000 slower than the driver of the 2 machine, and the same goes here, except this time he's a little quicker, just by 19 thousandths of a second. And that is a testament to the way that these guys are driving, very even when it comes to the delivery of power and the delivery of speed to these trucks. And the top 3 are separated in lap times by only 19 thousandths of a second, as Wayne Anderson fits right in the middle of these two. But Anderson has the strongest draft, so it might be able to keep that advantageous position, as he is the quickest driver on the racetrack, with the exception of Caleb Morrissey, who might be pushing it to all ends. Here is the rear camera of the driver of the number 2 machine. This is how it feels to be at the back of the front, so to speak, as you can see all of the pack in the rear view mirror of this driver. You can see he's a single file train so far, side by side there. That involves, I believe, Terry Mullum in the 27 machine. We're going to go and watch that battle right now, because there is some intense action in the mid-pack. Not Terry Mullum, but it is the driver almost just in front. It is Andrew Schroeder and Keith Hanlon. Hanlon going to be the victor of that fight. Schroeder going to send his Yankees machine all the way up to the wall. Patrick Gentner in 10th position, looking to get that position so far. This battle is in the mid-pack, but it's still absolutely intense, and the closest 2 cars are on the racetrack at the moment.
Yeah, right, you are. The 2. Morrissey leads with a 39 of Overstreet, and Anderson in the 8 just behind. The 39, who is our pole sitter, is leading behind just the 8. So clearly the saving strategy is quite working. He's in the draft. He doesn't have to be full throttle all the time. And they cross the line to start lap 15 of 125. 39 leads over the 8. And the 2 just in front is the leader of this race. We head down the back straightaway. The 2 number Chevy accessories machine is going for the lead. And as he leads, he's going to try and outstretch it as much as possible, try and get a gap. But with Overstreet in the draft, down the back and the front, it's going to be hard to shake him as long as the 2 doesn't have an overall pace advantage.
Currently, but it looks like right now Michael Overstreet's last few laps compared to the driver of the number 2 machine are just about a second to the 10th slower each time by. Let's go and see the hand movement for the driver of the 2 machine to see what's going on there. Let's see if he's turning it just a bit too much. That is the signal for a car that is not handling all too well. It looks like right now he's just being a little delicate on the throttle and on the brakes. You can see not turning it all through too much. It looks like about a 15-30 degree difference in angle compared to the straight line backstretch position that he has it in, but he's going to the inside line right now, a different line compared to that of Caleb Morrissey. Let's go ride a lap to the perspective of the number 2 machine to see how much he is turning it. You can see he might be turning it just a little more right past the first gauge, which seems to be not the oil but the water temperature, so he is a little bit more aggressive on his turn in and turn out compared to the driver of the 39 machine, but still going very, very well so far. But it looks like last time by he was a 10th slower, so all that pushing might be coming back to bite him. As you can see right now, Overstreet is gaining.
Yeah, right, you are. Morrissey still leads over Overstreet in the 8, just behind, leading over Speaksman. That is your fast 4. On top of the charts, the 2 holding the same around gap over the 39. And 39 was your pole sitter. Anderson just behind, was beside him in second place. So the 2 who qualified third has jumped both of the front row to try and lead this race. But it's interesting if he wants to go for a flat-out push strategy rather than a save strategy, where he's only going to have to pit once. Now, this also depends on the tire wear. Do you take 4 or 2 when the stop rolls around? We have 40 laps until the supposed fuel window, and if it's green, we're going to have green flag pit stops.
Certainly, green flag pit stops might already be looming in the minds of these drivers. It seems to be a single file ordeal right now. Looking at the timing and scoring sectors. All of these guys seems to be separated. The furthest back, though, is Jerome Cooper, who's just about a lap, or rather a half lap back on most of these guys in the Ford F-150, and seems to actually be the only Ford F-150 on the track. That might be a disadvantage when it comes to the car that he has chosen, or rather the truck in this case, but that is the slowest car on the racetrack, regarding the slowest truck once again. While it seems that Caleb Morrissey is not the quickest anymore, the only driver that last time by to set a lap under 25 seconds, it's Michael Overstreet, who seems to be working his way through with that cystic fibrosis Toyota Tundra, and he's making it work on the high side now as he's choosing different lines to adapt to the needs of his car.
Yeah, right you are. But the two untouched in the lead. Overstreet still maintaining the same gap, so he's not losing or gaining time. He's more equal. But this means that he can kind of ease off, knowing the gap he has with the two in front. And they are clearing the field. They have over a second gap behind. So clearly the front two are the fastest and going to be the fastest all race. But it's going to come down to strategy. Lap 24 of 125. Almost 1/5 of the way through this race. We're going to see pitch strategy come into play for 3 wide.
4 wide almost.
Four
Wow.
wide.
And this is the battle that's brewing in the mid-pack. Keith Hanlon is involved. Sean Derriman, Shane Weldon, and we tuned in just at the right time to see them go just about 4 wide there. And that was a close call for all the drivers involved. This is the most intense battle on the racetrack. We're going to get it to a wide shot so we can see all of these 4. Sean Derriman trying to make some moves and get some positions back. And you can see he goes down the middle, and it looks like Keith Hanlon getting all the way up there as well. Derriman, though, on the inside line and trying to make it work. This is the battle for 5th position, and Hanlon's going to send it down the inside once again, dive bombing it there on the drivers just alongside him. They're 3 wide there. This might lead into an issue, but we hope it does not. They are keeping it clean so far. Hanlon's big goal, send it down the inside and make sure he clears himself at the end of the day. But right now, looks like Derriman's getting the better of him. Whoa, very close there by Mike Stagler, and Patrick Gentner is getting into the battle as well. Hanlon, though, sending it down on the inside. Here's the perspective from the driver of the number 17 machine.
Oh, he makes contact. Oh my God, in the wall.
And that is the first example of an incident that creates major damage in this event. And Patrick Gentner gonna get along swimmingly with that fact. But it looks like Hanlon not all too damaged. Oh, crumpled up Mike Stagler.
We might have beef on the racetrack. That front end is completely scraped up and destroyed.
And it looks like
17
Stagler
trying to take... It looks like the 88 was trying to take his air away, but the 17 moves to a different lane. So the 88 goes to the high side, dumps all the dirty air on the 17 to make him get tight in the corner, but he can't hold off that 17 forever.
Yeah, it looks like damage to both of them. Going to take some air away. We're going to be watching this situation. Dives down to the inside, so it doesn't seem there is any ill will at the moment between these two drivers. They're racing respectively for the position. It's Keith Hanlon losing major ground as Sean Derriman has not gotten past the driver of the 98 machine. This battle is still intensifying, and they're still side by side. It's going to be a Hanlon and Slagter still fighting, but it looks like now the 17 is losing ground with all that damage on the front end.
Yeah, so after that contact down, it's going to hurt both drivers. You're going to lose rear downforce because the splitter is destroyed, and you're going to lose front downforce and cooling because the front end is destroyed. So if he's running higher tape, he's going to have to be more cautious in the corner because his car will overheat more. And no damage helps you in any way. But here is the battle with the 98. This is the battle for fifth position. 98 on the high side, the 16 on the inside, trying to get it done. He'll fall back in line. Don't count out the 97, who's just behind. He's going to try and make a move for 6th place. So overall, this is the battle for 5th place. 97 goes to the inside of the 15, tries to take the 98 as well.
It looks like almost a 2-for-1 there. Hurricane Esports, Gentner and Wielden are teammates. They have similar numbers, so that might be an early indicator. And the same sponsor, Realtree. So it looks like Derriman is in a sea of Realtree drivers right now. Let's go on board with the driver of the 15 machine to see what he is seeing. And this is actually a passenger's view. And you can see that there is a quite noticeable incline there. But right now, it looks like everything is settling out for these drivers. We're going to go and watch the battle between, looks like the 39 was gaining big time there on the leader of Caleb Morrissey.
Yeah, right. Morrissey still leads over Overstreet, the two who had beaten the longtime race leader. They now have a clear gap, and now Overstreet is only 2-3 tenths behind, starting to put the pressure down, and the two will have to at least accept the pressure and try and move on, but the 39 is still hunting down the two. The pole sitter trying to get his lead back from what he held on the lap 34.25, about halfway through the pit cycle of when we're going to get to the green flag pit stops if it stays green. The 16 on the inside of the 98 as it was.
Looks like 98 had a little bit of an issue getting through that corner, but there's still side by side the 15 of Sean Derriman trying to go to the inside there. This is for 5th position. And the PPG paints machine is going to paint the trail above both of the Realtree drivers. A very close encounter there, and the 98 machine certainly going to try to fight back, but it looks like when one fails, the other goes to succeed. The 97 machine is going to go in for the ground that his teammate had lost. He is getting into the mix as well. This is for 6th position, but I'm pretty sure these two are going to race each other nicely. They know each other. They are teammates. They know what each other's racing styles are all about, but the foreign driver to them is the 15, who's gotten by both of these drivers.
Yeah, right, you are now the 16 who leads over the 97 and 98. The 15 who had gotten past both of them. The PPG paint truck machine is now is clearly faster. We've got a truck on pit road.
It's Andrew Schroeder.
Right,
looks like something just happened. We're going to get a 20-second replay to see if the driver of the 48 machine got damage. Yeah, it looks like he did. We're just running with that damage for quite a while. This sends him down to 13. Oh, he gets more damage. That results in him pulling it down into pit road, getting his damage fixed right now. Jerome Cooper is a lap down. Slow is Mike Slachter getting the damage fixed. Looks like just towed to his right pit stall. He might have just blown the engine there. Let's get a replay to see whether or not that is the case. Yes, it is. Oh, heartbreak there for the 17.
If he has a fast repair, he can duck down to the pit road. He's got to clutch it and put it in neutral. It's the only way to roll fast enough to get to pit road.
It looks like he wasn't able to do just that. He has retired. Looks like the 17 Midwest Mafia machine not in the race anymore. And we do not see him on the racetrack. No fast repairs for these guys. This is not like IORA, our usual broadcasted content. You can see that there is quite a difference there. But we're going to go back to a battle that's very close right now. It's Gentner and Derriman. They're side by side right now for 5th position.
So clearly the 97 wanting to take his position back, which he held over the 15, and there is the 70. I think the only Ford F-150 in the field.
And certainly this is a driver who is a lapped car, and they have already gotten him by on the inside line, side by side there, and we're following along with the 70's onboard camera. And you can see all three drivers have gotten by. We're going to go back to watching this battle, though, from a close-up view. This is the 15 machine of Sean Derriman once again. And he has gotten far and away following that pass on the lap car, the 7 machine of Jerome Cooper.
Yeah, and now right, you are the 15 still in front of the 97 and the 98 as it was a few laps ago. But the 97 who wanted to take his position back, he gets right up to the wall. He's diamonding the corner. You can see he runs up high against the wall, and he's going to come back down. The 15 just overall faster than the 97 and 98 just behind. So if he wants to keep his position, he's going to have to run away like he's doing.
Right about that, looks like at the moment everyone is a little bit more spread out. Terry Mullum is a lap down on the racetrack. Slachter 3 laps down, has retired. So has Andrew Schroeder. We have 2 retirements in this race so far, and we have 2 cars that are at least a lap down that are still on the racetrack. Here's Keith Hanlon with the rear end damage still going, but looks like the 27 car right now might be the quickest. He might have actually gone for an early pit stop strategy, and that's the reason he's so quick.
Yeah, right, you are. The 27 just able to clear the 88, who was involved in an incident earlier with one of the trucks that retired. And there we're running on board with the Ford, the gearbox cam, and now the front cam. On the back straightaway, you can see let's buy the 27. So the Ford in the field not having a good day as he looks to come out pit road. There's a 23. And no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't look like he's pitting. I thought he was with how much he was getting on the apron.
It looks like that was a big let off, but not going onto pit road, just biding his time and getting the laps in. That is the the goal for Jerome Cooper. And we do have an announcement regarding the zero faster pairs. That was not meant to occur. There usually is one, and that's the reason the drivers of Slagter and Schroeder have retired. Nothing they can do about that, as Gentner is going side by side there with the driver of the 15, Sean Derriman. These two are still going at it, and it's a very, very fair fight.
Yeah, right, you are the 15. You held position over the 97. 97 wants it back. Lap 45 and 125, lap 46 actually, as it just changed to the lead across the line. 97 shoots it down low on the inside. 15 on the high side, gets right up close to the wall. And the 97 can do nothing about it. He'll have to let go of the 15, who has a bit of damage on his right-hand side. Running on board. This is the left side. It's considered 97 still on our inside.
There's a lap car there, quicker. That is the 27. He's going to go through.
27 splits the middle, and he's still not able to clear. So the 27 racing with the leaders. Mellon just 2 laps down. There's a caution. I'm sure he can get both of those back, but as it stands, no caution. Lap 47 out of 125.
Terry Mullum certainly. He's playing the long game when it comes to strategy. The Midwest Mafia machine, the only one still on the racetrack, that is the 27 of Terry Mullum. So he's playing his cards, and he's hoping he's played them right. That was a little bit of a gutsy move. I'm not sure if I would have gone with that myself, even with new tires. And I'm pretty sure that the driver of the 97, Patrick Gentner, is not happy about that. Gentner must not be, as Sean Derriman has gotten just in front of him again. Let's go on board with the driver of the 97 and see the telemetry to see what's going on in the mind of the 97.
So here we are riding on board the 97. This is what he sees. He's trying to get by the 15 in front of him. So he goes to a different line. Goes to the high side as the 15 runs the middle. Tries to get that clean air. He's trying to have him on his front nose, but it doesn't work. Now he switches to the low lane. Sends it on the inside. Doesn't quite make it work. We'll have to let the 15 back in front. So the 15 holding a lead out in front. 97 trying to get a lap back. Cannot get it done. Or trying to get the position, but cannot get it done. The 97 will have to stay behind the 15.
And it looks like it is a pit stop time. We've already seen a few drivers head into pit road. This is the driver who is heading out. It is Wayne Anderson. Tanner Speakman is as well. Terry Mullum already has James Cooper, is 2 laps down. Jerome Cooper is 3 laps down. So we already have drivers heading in early. It's about a 60-lap fuel run. Depends on how you manage it. It looks like Keith Hanlon has already gotten some front end damage. And look at that. That car is limping around, probably going to pit within the next lap or so. Shane Wheeldon has not pitted. He does not look like. Patrick Gentner, though, from 4th position is going to. Sean Derriman has been promoted up to 3rd position. And he's right there with the 23 machine, as Caleb Morrissey is in 1st. As Michael Overstreet is already pitted, he is in 3rd position. This is pit cycle time, and Overstreet's going to have to run the lap of his life. As you can see right now, the leader, the former leader, is going to be very shortly, has already came down into pit row with Keith Hanlon just in tow. So it looks like right now it's going to all come down to the driver of the 39, whether he can run a good lap or not. It looks like right now he is considered 21 seconds behind the leader of Sean Derriman. Look at that. That is the 15 machine. He's coming out just alongside, but he's a lap down right now, as it looks like Shane Wheeldon back on the racetrack. Caleb Morrissey is in pit road. The driver of the 39 is going to have to run a very, very good lap. He's already coming down through turn 4. Caleb Morrissey is still on pit road, getting out right now. This is the battle for the lead effectively. And you can see right now, this is the widest shot that we have. And the 39 is going as hard as he can. And it looks like Caleb Morrissey is back out in front. He's out by a long shot, but look at that move. Morrissey is out, but Michael Overstreet is on it. Look at this. The battle has just begun once again. 54 laps into the race. Michael Overstreet comes in on lap 53.
Right you are. Wheeldon in the 98, your leader over the 15 of Derriman. And there is the 2 in front of the 39. The 39 trying to get it done. He gets a bit loose on the bottom side. There is the 98, who is pitting now. Well, I thought he was slow rolling, but now he's pitting. The 15 pits as well. So Your leaders are going to be the 39 and the 2, so this is the battle for the lead. I don't think the 98 has pit yet, or it hasn't updated on our ticker. Now the 2 comes
Who's
across.
right there?
The 98 who's pitting, there he is. The 2 now crosses over the line to begin lap 56 out of 125. So we're about halfway now. The 39 just running behind the 2. There's the 70 of the 70 truck. You will have to keep it on the inside. The 2 running the high lane. The 39 running the wall. The 39 is going to try and push. What were you saying, Kurtz?
Well, I was going to say that does not compromise either of their lines. My apologies there, as the battle for the lead is ongoing. The gap is about a half second from one another. No caution so far, so if it does continue like this, we do have a special message for the viewers that we're going to get to shortly. We're going to get there in about 10 or so laps, barring any incident, as it looks like right now. Whoa, it's going to be the 23 James Cooper blocking the leader. That's not going to fare well. Wow.
Yeah, right you are now. This gives the 39 a good boost of confidence to see if he can get back.
Or does it? Wow.
Well, it doesn't now. The 23 getting in front of the 39. So both leaders he's gone in front of. That might not bode over well. But here is the 27. Oh, he's rolling slow just in front of the leaders as well.
But it looks like he's going to give them their line. Unlike the 23 of James Cooper, a very close call. And luckily, it does not look like it affected any of the drivers. Wow, that was a very close one. I guess these drivers are policing themselves out here tonight, because that was very close to being a major incident 59 laps into this event.
Yeah, right you are now. The 2 leads over the 39, the 8, and the 73. The 39 trying to take his pole position back and try and get back to the lead. Lap 60 out of 125. So we're nearing the halfway mark now. The 2 leading over the 39. There is the 8.
That was Wayne Anderson. He is 6 seconds behind, but he is in third, far and away. Looks like most of these drivers are spaced out, with the exception of Terry Mullum and James Cooper. They are fighting for position, and that is the reason they were fighting so hard with the leaders. As you can see, Jerome Cooper is 14 seconds behind, but close to them when it comes to the distance on the racetrack. But these two, Hanlon not involved. Terry Mullum and James Cooper are the closest two on the racetrack, with the exception of the battle for the lead. It looks like right now Overstreet can do nothing about it. Caleb Morrissey has that clean air, and he's been going flag to flag ever since. It might be time for a risky move, lap 62 of 125, that will decide the strategy for the remainder of the race. We will see, though, as we are currently at the halfway point, the backstretch on lap 62. That is 62.5. We are there halfway through this event.
Right you are coming across the line, lap 63. We are over halfway now. The 2 leads over the 39, as it was near the start of this race. So the 2 running a dominant race out in front. But the 39, who was our pole sitter, will want to get that position back, as he was on pole. And there is the 39 running just behind the 2. It's been about the same gap all race. Now, if he wants to get his position back, he'll have to run him down and pass him.
That is, of course, the goal, but it looks like Overstreet is actually losing time. Not sure if that is the result of Caleb Morrissey pushing the car as hard as he can. We saw that Overstreet was able to claw back to the 2 machine on the last run, but right now we are not sure if that is the case. What is the case, though, lap 65, and we have gotten there without an incident. We have a special message for the viewers. We'll get to it right about now. We thank you all for watching. Here is our special message regarding the remainder of the week and our program. Thank you all for watching, and we hope you enjoy this small presentation.
This segment is brought to you by the FTN Broadcasting Association and Network. With all intents and purposes, this broadcast couldn't be here without viewers like you. Your most common presenters are Alexander Valderas and David Kreutz, with TV production being handled by Andrew Schulte. For the foreseeable future, the broadcasts that you can be sure not to miss are on Thursdays being the OSRL Short Track Showdown, and be sure not to miss out on next week, because that's the IORA season finale. Then on Saturdays, we have the IORA Indycar Series with Chase Schaffer coming off of a win. Could he pull the double next weekend? And finally, with a new presentation on Sundays, the Rush Truck League. The times for the broadcast previously mentioned will be on your screen now. Be sure to stick around for those further this week. Thus, this segment is concluded and we will return to your regular programming.
And we are back following that short message, and we thank every single one of you for watching that. That is our programming for the next week, and that was a video created by Throttle, and I believe it's a pretty great one. And if you have enjoyed this race, lap 68 we are at, be sure to like and subscribe. I know that this is a new series, but this is some clean, hard racing by all of these guys, and I think it does deserve the following. Make sure that you don't miss any race on this racetrack. Of course, on the racetracks that are to follow as well, by liking and subscribing, because we have a lot more programming to follow with the Rush Trucks League and many more, as stated before.
Yeah, I got you on the 2 now, leads over the 39 once again. The gap about a second as we're going to come to go across the line to start lap number 70 of 125 in the Fireball Talks NASCAR 110. Overstreet now starting to fall back, so clearly having a pace deficit to the 2. They pitted near the same, but it looks like the 2 just has that pace advantage. He's able to hold out his lead out the front.
Now, it is interesting to say that the driver of the 2 machine does have older tires, so this is a little bit of a shock given the fact that both of them are up to temperature, and it still might be holding back given the fact that it is seeming to be a fuel mileage race when it all comes down to it. It was about a 53, 54 lap stint last time by. We're just about 20 odd laps into this stint, but we do see as this race progresses, strategy is evolving, and we have not had an incident on track warranting a caution. The biggest incident on the racetrack is the result of Keith Hanlon having some slight contact earlier on and into the race with the 17 of Mike Slagter. And it looks like Slagter is out of the race, but Hanlon is not, but more damage has been accumulated on that race car, or rather that racing truck. But the Sundrop machine prevails and continues on to race in 8th position so far, 1 lap down, with James Cooper being the closest driver to him.
Yeah, right you are. But here's the battle in the back of the pack. The 97 and the 98 going back at it again. The 98 chasing the 97 down the back straightaway as they enter in turn number 3. The 97 holds the advantage over the 98, but the 98 will try and strike back, going down the front stretch. The gap closing ever so slightly. The 15 just in tow, and there is the 70.
It is interesting to note the 98 is 2 laps down and might be holding fort for his teammate to make sure that Sean Derriman can't do anything about this, and realistically, he can do this. He's holding off when it comes to the air, not giving him any advantage, any look, and it looks like the 98 still has the pace, but just on a different strategy that has not worked out tonight. Well, the 97 is up there in the top 5, so this is definitely a move made for the sake of strategy between these 2 teammates at Oversteer, or rather not Oversteer Motorsports. Oversteer Motorsports is in 2nd, while Hurricane Esports is in 5th and 9th, respectively.
Yeah, the 97 just holding out barely over a bumper over the 98. The 98 trying to get it done, running the high side, getting all the draft down the front straightaway. And as it goes to the high side, tries to get it done, only for to cross him over, go back to the bottom. No, he's not. He's going to stay on the high side, but there he is. He's going to switch, and he's going to stay high. So clearly, the preferred line to the 98 is running the high lane. The 97 is going to come right back out in front, but the 98, see, got a much, much better exit. Now he's going to shoot down to the inside. The 98 on the inside. With the 97 on the outside, the 98 tries to prevail. Exiting turn number 2, and down the back we go. The 98 just has a bumper on the 97. Now the 97's running the 98 side and running the wall. So he's going to try and get a good exit. The 97 proving to just be a bit faster than the 98. But if he can move up, if he can do the move just right, he can get the position. The 97 getting really close to the wall. He's going to have a good exit, so he needs to block. And there goes the 98. Back ahead of the 97.
This might be bad news for the 97. Sean Derriman has already closed up big time following the wake of the 98, and it looks like the 97 of Patrick Gentner cannot do that at all. And you can see that the number 15 machine of Sean Derriman is there and getting closer and closer as he watches the battle between teammates. Of course, one is a lapped truck, and it looks like the 98 is going back. This side-by-side battle, though, is, of course, going to make the 97 a little slower. as Michael Overstreet seems to be down pit road again. And this is a little early. Doesn't seem to be an issue to the truck. Caleb Morrissey is still leading the way, but Overstreet is in pit road.
Now, this could be a smart decision, and he might be short pitting there. You can see that he's taking the right side. So I wonder if he's trying to get a jump on the 2 with fresher tires. He's going to have to pass everybody back, but if he can, this is going to be a really, really smart decision. The 2 coming down pit road as well.
And it looks like the 73 is as well. 3 cars that came in. This might be already pit cycle time again, but it's a little early compared to last time. By lap 80, there are many drivers who seem to have already gotten out of pit road or went in. So this is a very early stop for most of these guys, according to the timing and scoring statistics. The 2 is out, but Overstreet is on the racetrack. Can he do anything about it? It looks like this time by he cannot. But it is not over yet. Overstreet still has to make this work. Here's a wide angle shot to see whether or not he's going to be out in front of the 2 machine, as Caleb Morrissey is there on pit road and just exiting. And it looks like drivers are not going to be able to make it on field, and that is why that happened. And Michael Overstreet's going to get the lead from Caleb Morrissey. A much better stop. He is miles ahead so far. He played it safe there, maybe on purpose now, and he is far and away ahead by several seconds, now 2 seconds on top of Caleb Morrissey.
You're right, you are. A savvy pit strategy makes the 39, goes to the lead. He undercut everybody. He would pit a lap of 4. He's a bit loose on the cold tires. There's the pit exit cone on the track. At lap 83 out of 125, the race is slowly winding down and coming to a close. But the 2 who had led the race for a lot of the time, now the 39 running the wall, everybody's starting to pick up the pace a bit now that they know that they can make it on the field. The 88 on the bottom.
And it's a 4-car gaggle here. It looks like the 97 is effectively the leader, trying a different strategy. He is now 12 seconds ahead of Michael Overstreet, and Sean Derriman is in second, as the 88 is going to not pull it in and fight with the 15 machine, and that's not going to make Sean Derriman happy. Gets a little wiggly up there, but the 98 is holding fort, and now it seems like this is why the teammate is defending the leader, and that is the way it goes for Hurricane Esports so far, as Sean Derriman really can't do anything about this now. Let's go on board with the driver of the 15 machine to see what he sees.
Leader number 15. There is an 97 just out in front. He's going to try and run the low lane to try and get that clean air and get it around 97. It's right up close to the wall, gets a bit loose exiting. So clearly he's running the truck to its limits to try and get past him.
You can see that he has nothing now on the 98 machine, because it looks like that 98 machine knows what he's doing and has the pace, but just an alternate strategy helping his teammate Patrick Gentner, who has lost 2 seconds to Overstreet on time so far, as it looks like Caleb Morrissey is going to go for once again another move on the leader.
Right, you are. Here comes the 2, round to the 39. The 39 trying to make it, get it done. He goes to the outside, but he blocks into the wall. So now the 39 goes to the inside of the 2. The 2 running the high side. He has to give him room. The 39 is down there. He has the bumper over the 2. But as they exit turn number 2, the 2 leads over the 39.
Now that is interesting to know. Is Overstreet once again playing it back just to see what he can do with it, or is he seriously having a pace deficit because he has the fastest, or he did have the fastest lap on the racetrack? That honor does go to Caleb Morrissey now, so that is interesting to note. Is the driver of the 39 machine losing grip with the car? Looks like that was a big wiggle, and that might not be strategy, causing him to fall behind the number 2 machine yet again. Bad news for the driver who was once 2 seconds ahead of his rival in this event.
Yeah, right, you are. The 2 getting ahead of the 39. There is the 97, which I thought was a tipper error, but is currently in the lead. And he's gaining on the 15, but he's also gaining on the 2 and the 39. So with no pit stop, the 97 is still leading.
It looks like his teammate has fallen behind on the defense. He is holding back John Derriman big time, concealing that line all the way, and Derriman can't do anything about this now. He goes to the inside there as Keith Hanlon's 6th position is right there. Wayne Anderson is now going to make the move on Hanlon, the damage machine, as James Cooper seems to be slowing it down as well. Gentner is still going around. He is the leader, but he is losing time lap over lap.
Right, you are, and there's the 2. He's now fallen back into 2nd position. Is gaining massive time on the 97.
As Gentner is going to pull it in right now. Caleb Morrissey is going to be your leader this time by. This is the move for the lead, and Gentner can do nothing but sit in pit road and watch. The 2 machine has had his day. He's now 2.5 seconds ahead of the number 39 machine, who just lost the position to the lap car of Tanner Speakman on pace. Not good news for the 39.
Right, you are, the 2 who had taken the lead just a few laps before. The 39 now struggling on pace. He pit early to see if it would give him an advantage, and for a couple laps it did. But now he's struggling even behind the pace of a lap car.
That is not good with just about 20, or rather 34 or so laps remaining in this event, as the leader, Caleb Morrissey, is closer and closer to the start-finish line. Getting there just about now. You can see a 7 machine of Jerome Cooper is there in 10th position in front of Terry Mullum, getting lapped once again. He's now going to be put 4 laps down. The Caleb Morrissey machine is on its way. Shane Wheeldon is just in front now. It will be put 2 laps down at this pace.
Yeah, right, you are now the 2. Still leading over the 39, but I feel he has no shot to try and hold on to that 2nd place. With that big pace deficit, he'll have to wish for a miracle. And I don't know if that's going to get, I don't know if he's going to get his miracle.
Does not look like it is going to happen now. It all comes down to tires, but I don't think that's going to affect him at all and affect any of these drivers up there on the lead battle. 3 cars are on the lead lap. Wayne Anderson is the last of which, but Michael Overstreet is seemingly the slowest of the bunch by far. Anderson might see his championship rival very, very soon. He's going to lose some points to him at this rate, but might be able to rebound just a bit.
Right are the 2 who got in the position on the 39. Early in the race, still leading over a savvy pit strategy that had the 39 originally leading over him, but due to an issue with the 39's pace, I don't think he can keep up the position that he has. And the 2 is going to continue leading as we're rounding out to 100 laps out of 125 in this race.
Getting closer and closer to the Centurion mark, and Wayne Anderson is 2.5 tenths quicker than the driver of the Michael Overstreet machine, which is, of course, Michael Overstreet. And it looks like he's gaining more and more each time by, so it might be a chance for Anderson to get some points back on the championship hunt and demote Michael Overstreet from all podiums on at least the 1st position to going down to the 3rd position for the first time in this series on round 3. Caleb Morrissey has been having a dominating performance so far, and this is the 3rd position car just in front of him, though it is a per scale very short track when it comes to being a 20 seconds down and almost a full lap down. Terry Mullum is fighting with the leader right now, the 27 machine.
Yeah, but you're on now the 27, losing a battle to the 2. It looks like he's faster on pace because look at the gap he's just pulled. The 2 on our outside, there he was into the wall, but now the 2 will claw back a bit on the front straightaway. But I don't know how much that's going to last when the 27 goes into the corner.
Looks like right now, started 10th, currently 11th position, dropping 1 spot so far in this race. Terry Mullum holding off the leader, trying not to get lapped again, the last car on the racetrack when it comes to those who have not retired. And he seems to be quicker than that of the 2 machine. Michael Overstreet, though, might have to worry because this 27 machine is coming on quick, or rather Wayne Anderson, because Michael Overstreet is far and away from both of these drivers. We have hit 101 laps, though. Wayne Anderson still on his 100th, but the top 2 are not. Separated by 6 seconds, though, it's Overstreet and Morrissey.
Yeah, right, you are. Here's the 39, who I feared was going to lose that 2nd position that he had. is starting to be within the clutches of Anderson, who's clawing back quite a bit of time per lap. But Morrissey still leading over Overstreet. Here's the 8. He is doing battle with the 27. Not good for the 8's chances. So clearly the miracle that I've said might not come is going to shine its light on the 39, because the 27 is out there battling hard with the 8. The 8 has no chance. There's the 39, and his wish might just come true.
This is the battle for 5th position, as it looks like Michael Overstreet might not be passed by Wayne Anderson, and that might keep his lead pretty far up on the driver of the 8 machine. This is for 5th though, between the 8 machine of Derriman and the Speakman Race EPI drive. And look at that, same amount of tape, same setup and everything. These two drivers are pretty equal, as Patrick Gentner is getting in on it as well. These all are the drivers fighting for 5th. Derriman getting it now. Just for now. Will it hold on? We'll see.
Yeah, right, you are. The 15 leads over the 37, the 97, but now the 97 is going to try and fight back. Everybody is a lap down apart from the top 3. So clearly, the 73 riding in tow with the 97 is going to try and ride with him to see if he can catch that 15, Sean Derriman. Lap 105 of 125, meaning we have 20 laps to go. So the race that we started it felt like 5 minutes ago, is now already starting to come to a close. And Sean Morrissey leads over Overstreet, over the 39. The 8 in front of the 15 and 97, just trying to catch that 15. Riding on board with the 97, you can get a good look at his left front. So you can see there in front is the 15. He's trying to catch him down, but as we come on the front straightaway, he is gaining, but I'm not sure if he has the pace to keep up.
Now in the left rear of Sean Derriman, it looks like the 97 machine might have enough time to make it happen. 107 and 125, and Gentner is now 4/10 back on Derriman. This battle for the lead is intensifying big time. We're out of the lead, not the lead, 4th position, but they're leading quite the train so far. It looks like right now, it seems most of those following are gone from this pack. Gentner is the only one holding fort right now. Gets really loose there on the high side. Might compromise his entrance to get a better exit. That looks like what happened, but still lost 0.2 of a second in that section alone. Goes down to the second line of the racetrack, this time by. Can't he get anything done? Nothing now, but he does gain back 1/10 of that he lost. We're almost at 15 laps to go for all of these drivers. This is the battle between those highest up on the 1 lap down counter. So they still have a lot of time to race, as Wayne Anderson is going to go 1 lap down, the leader of Caleb Morrissey.
Yeah, right, you are. Caleb Morrissey leading over the 8. But now he has to worry about the 39, who I thought was out, is actually catching the 2. So he was clearly just playing a fib and playing dumb, because look how much he's gaining. And now it looks like he's dropping back a bit, but that gap was a lot bigger than what it was just a few laps ago. So clearly the 39 now has turned on the jets, and he's going to go catch that too.
Perhaps that is the case, but it might not be enough time. But Wayne Anderson has some contention for 3rd. It is Derriman and it is Patrick Gentner. Both of them are getting quicker and quicker each lap by when it comes to the 8's times. And it looks like Gentner might have just put it up really high there, but Derriman is leading the hunt for that 8 machine. They've gotten closer and closer. He's now within 1.6 seconds with 15 laps to go. These guys are battling all out for a podium spot, getting closer and closer to the front of the field. Even if they are 1 lap down, it's only 2 drivers who are still on the lead lap.
Yeah, right, you are. But now the gap retaining to about 9 seconds between the 2 of Morrissey. I'm not sure. I was sure about it just a while ago, but I'm not. The gap is fluctuating too much for me to really tell if he has an advantage over the 2, unless it was just a bad lap from the 2. But here goes the 97 looking to the inside. Does he go to the inside? Yes, he does. He doesn't have a bumper just yet, but here is the 8. And here's the battle between the 97 and the 15.
And even as they battle, they've gained 4/10 since we last mentioned the gap. Now 6/10. It's within a second for 3rd position. Here is the wide shot. You can see it doesn't look like anyone is there, but there are 2 trucks chasing down the driver of the 8 machine so far. Will they get to Wayne Anderson? We will have to wait and see, but it's just about a frame's worth of distance so far. There it is, the 8 machine being chased by the 97, who's going to go to the inside of the 15. But they're both quicker than that of the driver in front of him. That is Wayne Anderson with 12 laps to go. Will he be caught? We're just going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah, right, you are. The 97 in front of the 73, sorry. But there goes the 97, trying to get it done on the 15. Cannot get it done. Coming to 10 laps to go. The 15 riding in front of the 97. There is the 8 just in front. I believe has a bit of right front damage. Not very much, as it's very hard to see, but they are both catching them. Look how much they're just closing in. The 8 cannot keep up with the pace of the cars behind, and it shows because those cars are catching, and there goes the 97.
And look at that, both of these cars making a lunge there on the 8 machine. We're going to have the telemetry there of the 3rd position machine as we watch this from the blimp camera to see all 3 cars at all times with 9 laps to go. It looks like the 97 might be the quickest in this battle right now. Sean Derriman's hardly holding on. The 98 has just entered the track once again, maybe to chase down his teammate and perhaps lend him a hand in getting in the podium position. We will see whether or not that team strategy comes into effect. But 3 cars under a bundle right now, and they're going as quick as ever. Derriman seems to be lying back right now. Patrick Gentner, my apologies there, is getting through, and Wayne Anderson is there as well. Anderson, of course, holding fort, but it looks like he is the slower of the 3. Look at that, he's going to slide up, and the 97 is going to make his way through. Sean Derriman's going to be next.
Right, you are. The 8 being too slow, has to run the high side. The 15 running side by side with the 8. You can see there, he's falling in just behind, so the 8 able to hold off the 15, but I don't think he's going to be holding him off just for long. As the 15 tries to run the left rear quarter panel of the 8, can't get it done, and the 15 will have to drop behind back again.
Wayne Anderson still has a chance to get 4th position and salvage some points. He is a lap down and just got passed by Patrick Gentner, but Sean Derriman, and it looks like there is another driver in the mix. It is not going to be the driver of the 73, but it is the 98. And the 98 is going to go hunting and defending for his teammate. This is the team relationship that we talked about as Wayne Anderson has more and more pressure each lap by.
Yeah, right, you are. The 8 just in front of the 15. Now the 15 goes to the inside, tries to make that move on the 8. The 8 on the high side, trying to get it done. The 15 going to go low, going to go to the inside. The 8 still stuck on the outside. Oh, and he just barely got past him on the exit of the corner.
It looks like a slide job there, but just not going to work. Does he have enough speed to lunge it down to the inside? Nothing so far, and I think that might just be the end of the run for Wayne Anderson. Tanner Speakman is too far behind to catch. And Wayne Anderson's going to be relegated to 5th position as Terry Mullen is coming up on this pack.
Yeah, right, you are now the 27, just behind the 8. So the battle of the lapped cars, neither of them are 3rd position, so they're clearly just racing each other. But we're going to come to nearly 3 laps to go at the end of this race. And there we are, 3 laps to go. The 2 leads over the 39, who I thought had a chance of getting his position back, but the 2 has outstanded his lead more to a gap of 12 seconds.
It's the battle for 7th position. Keith Hanlon is holding on in front of James Cooper, but it looks like Cooper might just be quicker, throwing a dive bomb there, and there is only so much time left. Half a second remains, as Jerome Cooper actually seems to be quicker than these 2 in front of him, or he just seems to be holding pace right now. He's 11th on the racetrack at the moment. The 23 losing some time and being compromised lap over lap, as it looks like we're now heading to 2 laps to go. Hanlon is going to extend his lead. Anderson losing time to Derriman, and Derriman losing time to Gentner. Michael Overstreet is on the backstretch, 12 seconds behind, but the white flag is out, and this is the driver who ended up dominating this event. Didn't start from pole, was very, very close at the end of the day. The 97 just behind him now. He is a lap down, might be getting his lap back out of some fair kindness in the heart of the driver who's going to end up getting it done, winning the Fireball Talks NASCAR 110. It is Caleb Morrissey, third race of the season, second winner. The streak is over for Michael Overstreet.
IORA 2 with a dominating victory here today at Iowa. The 39, who was our pole sitter, led most of the beginning part of this race, but just could not hold on to the pace of the 2, who clearly outclassed him, and that's a pretty dominating race victory.
Of course, Overstreet's still going to make major points advantages over the driver of the number 8 machine, Wayne Anderson, and look at that, yet another big points day, congratulating the driver who is just behind him in points now, I believe, just in front of him on the racetrack. That was Overstreet just crossing by. Now the 2 machine making it work down to the front straightaway, where he is going to burn it down in front of the crowd, the virtual crowd. If you enjoy this action, be sure to like and subscribe. It was a great race and a great winner, deservedly so, for the driver of the 2 machine, and look at him go.
Burning it down on the line, the 2 who'd almost lost the race, I thought, on a clever pit strategy by the 39. It had enough pace to go by and fly past him. And there he is, burning it down on the Legends Oval, going through the infield grass. That was a pretty dominating race victory, but it was a fantastic race for him, and he ends the streak of the 39 winning both the races in a row.
And he is going to make a change when it comes to the history of this series. And we have the remainder of the podium waiting for an interview. We will be getting to them, but of course we're going to try to speak with our winner first. The podium procedure here on the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTuber channel goes as such. The YouTuber channel, my apologies there. We get the first place finisher, then the second place finisher, and the third place finisher following that. But for the driver who dominated this event and got it done on that final pit stop there, it's Caleb Morrissey. How are you feeling after winning this event?
I feel great. It's a great feeling to win. I don't know if you guys are aware of what happened last week, but we were in pretty much the same position. Me and him, what was his name? Overstreet. Yeah, so, and then I got involved with a lap car last week, so I really feel like I should have won last week, making up for it this week. It's a great feeling.
Certainly a great feeling to make up for what had happened beforehand, but what do you think was the deciding factor in this victory at Iowa?
I believe he took 2 tires there at that last pit stop, and I think that's what won me the race because it just wasn't worth it in my opinion. We needed all the grip we could get out there in those run hard laps in the beginning of the run, so I feel like that's kind of what put it over the edge. Had he taken all 4, I feel like it probably would have been a lot closer. I still feel like I would have came out with the victory. I was very comfortable, especially the more I could move to the top. Even in 1 and 2, it felt like I could run the top, which is weird with those bumps that are there in Iowa. It's very difficult to maneuver around, but the truck felt great, and it just ended up working out tonight.
Absolutely ended up working out tonight, and next week we're going to be going to Charlotte for a 100 lap event. Do you think we'll see you back up there on the top step of the podium once again?
I think it's fair to say I feel like I have a lot of momentum heading into this next race. I'm trying to make up a lot of ground. Unfortunately, I missed the first race of the season at Daytona. So in order to make up a lot of ground, I got to do a lot of winning here. So I'm not out of it, but I don't think I'm quite in it yet.
Certainly not out of it at all. Getting the win done here at Iowa, the 3rd round of the season, and looking for more. It's Caleb Morrissey. We thank you for your time.
So much, guys. I want to thank a lot of people at home, my friends, family. Thanks for watching and tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
Final message of our race winner, and give it up for the driver of the 2 machine. That is Caleb Morrissey. And now we're going to get to the 2nd place finisher of Michael Overstreet in the 39 machine. Close there, but not enough to keep that streak going. How are you feeling after today's event?
I'm wore out, man. That was a rough one. No, it's all good. I'll take a P2. You know, we'll see if we can do with top 3 finishes this year. But yeah, man, I didn't have anything for Caleb. He got past me, and I had a little bit of a run towards the end of the first stint there, but I couldn't once them old tires got slick, I had nothing for him. I short pitted, thinking I would, be able to get the lead from him, and somehow he had a just as good, if not better, pit stop, and we came out dead even again. So I knew that third stop I had to try something, and he was pulling away from me that second run. So I took two rights, and hoping that he would have stayed out a little bit longer, and I would have came out a little bit farther ahead than he did, or than I did. But oh well, like I said, it was good, clean racing, and we'll see what we can do next week.
Certainly a clean race at the end of the day, and still leading the points charts over the 8 machine of Wayne Anderson, getting a few spots over the driver who was in second in points, and that is looking good for your championship chances so far. Next week, Charlotte, 100 laps. Do you think you can keep up the momentum in the championship lead?
I sure hope so. That's my home track, so I'm I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can get three on the season so far.
Certainly looking for 3 wins in what's going to be 4 races when we get to next week's event at Charlotte. Second today, but still leading the points by a wide margin, it is Michael Overstreet. We thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Now for our final driver on the podium positions, getting it done in a very late series of moves over Sean Derriman and Wayne Anderson, it is Patrick Gentner. How are you feeling after that late race battle?
Worn out, tired. I have no idea how I managed to get through traffic like I did.
We're hearing a lot about being worn out at the end of this event, a pretty long one, 125 laps, longest of the season, and you maneuvered through those lap cars very well. How did it feel in the moment?
It was actually kind of fun. Iowa is one of those you either like it or hate it, and you can hit it just right one lap, and the next lap you just throw it all away. So it's just making sure you hit the right spots, moving around, seeing what works, and saving tire is probably the biggest deal, because if you burn it off in 10 laps, you're probably just going to fall like a rock after that. So I just tried to make it smooth and not even push it that much.
Absolutely ended up playing it conservative there. Do you think that is the game plan next week at Charlotte?
It's part of it, but track position, using the draft, and just making sure you can have enough tire after about 10-15 laps. So you got to be patient for it, but you got to go out and get all you can, but still be conservative, I believe.
Absolutely going to be a balancing act in Charlotte, North Carolina next week. We're getting off a good run here, perhaps some momentum next week. Any final thoughts before we get to that race at Charlotte?
This was fun. It was my first race. I've had to miss the last 2 because of work. And when I missed Daytona Auto Club, I was kind of bummed. But I knew Iowa was one of those. I've had some success. I've ran here in other leagues and got a third in Next-Gen, actually won in one of the Cup cars. So it's got a little bit of a finesse feeling to it, but I'm happy with it. And I'm happy Shane was helping me that tonight and just kind of giving me heads up of people behind me. And, we don't race each other to kill each other, but we also won't use the other for blocking anyone else. If we have to, we'll move out of the way and let the battle happen.
Certainly a lot of natural team racing between you and your teammate Shane Wielden, but getting it done in your debut, a podium finish, and perhaps some momentum for next week. It is Patrick Gentner. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys. You did a great job, and I look forward to more broadcasts with you and being able to talk more after a race.
Absolutely. We look forward to hearing your comments. And that is our podium procedure all concluded, and we are going to be going to our race results following the 125 lap event. And ending it off, we see our winner at the top of the charts. It is Caleb Morrissey, qualifying third and going into first. Then Michael Overstreet from pole, converting it to a second place finish. And 1 lap down, it's Patrick Gentner in the 97 machine, rounding out the podium. From there, it's Sean Derriman, Wayne Anderson, Tanner Speakman, Keith Hanlon, James Cooper, Shane Wielden, Terry Mellum, and Jerome Cooper in 11th, the final driver to continue on the racetrack. Then Mike Slagter, Andrew Schroeder, and a race control, William Kelly being counted as the 14th finisher, 126 laps down, and did not participate in this event. That concludes an amazing first night of racing to debut this series on the channel. What do you think, Throttle?
I think that was a fantastic race. Good strategy there at the end. It was a great one to watch, and I'm glad to have been in the booth with you, Kreutz.
Absolutely right about that, and we will be back next week for the Sunday Showdown, which is at Charlotte. It is going to be a 100-lap race with these trucks, and we hope to see you all there once again. I thank every single one of you new viewers and all of you who came back to return for yet another stream. Perhaps it was your second, perhaps maybe even all of them you've watched, and we thank every single one of you for stopping by no matter your circumstances, and we hope to see you all again whenever we are live. We'll be live tomorrow, I believe, to catch up on some Fanta NR Cup Series races we may have unfortunately not gotten into around to at the moment. We will be back with them as soon as we can be. We thank every single one of you for watching and hope you have a great night. Thank you all for your time.